Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, April 2nd, and today we cover Retire on Crypto's Journey, Episode 10, Road to One Bitcoin, the Orange Series. We are simulcasting this on two channels, on both Retire on Dividends channel and Retire on Crypto channel. I don't know where the majority of uh, the people watching live are, but actually let me know in the live chat which channel you're at, and I'll let the rest of the community know. That way, in case they're talking to themselves, we'll make sure they're in the right chat. And we're also on X, by the way. So if you're on X, feel free to come over to YouTube and join the live chat, or just talk to yourself on X, and I'll pull up your messages. All right, so double D's on the ROC. Sergio's yapping away. We're loud and clear. All right, so what's going on here? What's going on with the markets? Bitcoin, yeah, man, it's down. It's down. Allen's on both. All right, I like that. That's a good idea. Um, double the views, double the fun, right? So yeah, Bitcoin's down. I did not listen to the speech last night, and obviously it was nothing the market liked. I believe someone said he said the war's a few weeks. It's still going on, right? But I mean, to me, that's not news. So I don't know. I guess they expected something more positive, and they did not get it. So the market said, we going down. Let's refresh. Maybe we're coming up. Ready? Here we go. Boom. No. All right. So Bitcoin is at 66. Whatever is what it is. Let's move on. How's the actual stock market? Again, this is the pre-market as of 6 a.m. this morning. Again, this is on Thursday, April 2nd. S&P is down 1.17%. NASDAQ is down 1.53%. Pretty rough. The Dow is down 0.97%, and the Russell is down 1.57%. So, okay, a little hiccup here. So again, the last few days were really good. Felt good to be green again, but back down we go. So we still got tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we can get some green action. That's when I want the green action, so I could actually roll my freaking trades. But hey, whatever, man. Let's move on. All right. Why are we here? We're here to talk about the Orange series. Again, to recap, I made a series called the Orange series because I'm becoming obsessed with learning more about Bitcoin, and everything behind it. So I made the series on the Retire on Dividends channel, and I kind of just said, you know what, let me just make my own channel, Retire on Crypto. But for now, again, I'm launching this on both channels. So tune into either one. I really don't care. But once I build out the Retire on Crypto channel, then I'll probably just post it there. Maybe when I get 1,000 subs or something. I don't know. But again, the idea behind this series is to educate not only myself, but hopefully you guys a little bit on Bitcoin, and also share my journey on buying Bitcoin and my strategy. What's the purpose? Like, why am I buying Bitcoin? What am I going to do with it? What else am I buying related to Bitcoin, MSTR, so on and so forth. All right. Oh, yeah, the market is closed tomorrow. Duh. Oh, crap. I completely forgot. Holy crap. Thank you, Marcy. See, there is the educator mom in you. See? Damn. Today's going to be busy. Wait, that's so stupid. Why is the market closed? I'm not off tomorrow. All right. Anyway, let's get going. So let me zoom in. All right. So again, we've had quite the journey up to episode 10. We had the intro, the history of Bitcoin, the transactions, the halving, the shitcoins, retiring on STRC, the power of STRC, the Misty Mafia. And then last week, we actually had a guest, our first guest, Knights Who Say Nyeh. But no, it was fun. Really good guest. I hope to have him back, actually, because he does he's pretty much into everything that I'm into. So he's a Bitcoin guy. And I also have a couple other people on X I'm talking to who are interested in possibly coming on. And yeah, hopefully they'll be awake at 6 a.m. depending on where they're located, and then we'll go from there. If there's anyone that you think may be interesting for the discussion, let me know. All right. What is Sergio yapping about? Decaf coffee is not good. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, but I ain't drinking decaf over here. Oh yeah, that's his second cup, son. Where you at? All right, let's go. Let's go. Yep, good Friday, man. All right, so we got to roll our trades today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got to roll our trades. I'll probably forget after this video. All right, anyway, we're just going to go through the tabs real quick. Again, I first discovered Bitcoin back in December 7th of 2017, back when I was kind of clueless with stuff, with investing, with everything. Bitcoin was at 17,000 at the time. And I bought a little bit, just a little bit. And yeah, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was trading it. I was using it to transfer to other wallets or to buy shit coins and basically lose it. And I did lose it. And then last year around March, I'll say, I finally got back into it. And I said, you know what, this actually does make sense to make this a long-term investment. So here I am. We went through the history of Bitcoin. I'm slowly also sharing this on X as we go. But again, this is a separate video. Feel free to go check that out. But I thought it was fun. Transaction-wise, how to read the blockchain, things like that. That's also a separate video. This is my favorite video by far. But this is just about the halving and how it works. So basically, when Bitcoin first started in 2009, the reward to mine Bitcoin was 50, freaking 50. So that first 4 years, they mined about 10.5 million, right? Which is a lot. And, the next year that was cut in half. And then the next year that was cut in half again. And it's cut in half. I'm sorry, not next year. The next 4 years, it was cut in half and so on and so forth. And here we are now, right? The reward right now is 3.12. Okay. So again, that's going to get cut in half on April of 28, about actually almost exactly 2 years from now. The halving will come up again. And typically that does push up the price. People get excited about the halving, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. At the time, I have no idea. Right now, we've just been down. We've been red for so long. It's hard to even get excited about anything, but this is the time. These are the times to buy, in my opinion, not financial advice. Okay. All right. Anyway, so long story short, there's only going to be 20 million Bitcoin mined. In fact, it's actually not even 20 million, by the way. It's 20,999,999.99999. At least based on my calculator. So I don't think there is 21 million when all said and done. I'm curious to see what the circulating supply will show. But on I'll say March 5th of 2140, that's around the time, or within that 4-year gap, the last of the Bitcoin will be mined. Of course, we don't care really about those dates. We care about now. We care about making money now. But most of the Bitcoin is mined. That's what you have to worry about. And yes, there is limited supply. So we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see. Bitcoin per person. Again, I did a video on this. I'm not going to really go through that. So if you're interested on that, go check out the other video. All right, now back to the weekly update. Let's see what we got here. So Bitcoin supply, circulating supply, it increased. At least I used CoinMarketCap again. It worked. It updated. It jumped up 3,128. So now our circulating supply is up to 20,010,237. Supply left 989,763 yet to be mined. MSTR, oh my God, they did not. Did you hear this? They did not add the Bitcoin. Again, let's check their website. I have it up. MSTR. Where is it? Credit. MSTR. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. So yeah, nothing since 323. They're still at 762. I don't know if you guys can you guys see that? Or is that too zoomed out? Doesn't matter. 762.099. So let's go back here. So yeah, that's no change, unfortunately, week over week. STRC though, they haven't been able to, they were touching the 100. Maybe they jumped over a few times, but I don't think it was enough to do a buy. They'll probably maybe get something in this weekend, or at least maybe they did get in something that they didn't share it yet. I don't know, but we'll keep an eye out for that. The MNAV per the website went down a little bit, down 6%. It's down to 1.12. MSTR price, rough week action here. I mean, what can you do, man? It went down 11.75%. MSTR could be under 100 soon. Wouldn't that be interesting? But again, we'll keep an eye out for that. Chico. Well, we got some action in the chat. Let me just make sure we're not ignoring anyone. Sergio's talking about Pepsi now. So who the heck knows what's going on in here? Parabolics here. Again, I'm not sure what channel everyone's on, but I do have this on Retire on Crypto and Retire on Dividends, which may be annoying. You're on Retire on Dividends. Good morning. All right. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. STRC, how's their price movement? Well, here it is. They hit 100 for as of yesterday, $100 on the dot. So, I mean, if anything is working in this market, it's STRC. That is for damn sure. Strive, ASST is the ticker. They did not add Bitcoin this week. But they don't normally add Bitcoin weekly. They're more of like maybe monthly or every 2 months, but keep an eye on them. Their MNAV, it went down 1%. It's at 1.08. Their price went down 6.36% for the week. They're at 1016. SATA is down 1.03%. They're at 97.98. Yesterday was ex-dividend date. Now I'm going to try to track the ex-dividend date of STRC and SATA, and because that's the buying opportunity, really, because it's going to be harder and harder to get these funds under $100. So the only opportunity we're going to have really is ex-dividend date, because ex-dividend date, obviously the fund is going to drop by whatever they're paying per share, right? So, I'm all about that. So SATA, I may actually add some SATA to my portfolio today because it's $97 plus the market's red. In fact, you know what? Let's pull it up. Let's see what it looks like right now. SATA. Oh crap! It's up. It's up 0.1%. See these funds? They just work, man. They just work. Misty did not have a good week either. They went down 11.24%. Also, keep in mind, Misty, I'm not adding back the distributions or anything. So any of these drops will include the drop of the dividend, or for distribution, I should say, for that. This is going to be interesting to see MSTR at 100 or under. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What is ASST and SATA? All right, so ASST is Strive, right? I don't know if you know Strive, but they're one of the more popular Bitcoin treasury companies. They're new, they're tiny, but they have the same exact strategy pretty much as Michael Saylor and MSTR strategy. And they offer a product just like STRC called SATA, but it has a higher yield. But they're a smaller company, but again, they did the same thing. They put the cash aside, and I don't know. I've listened to a couple interviews with the Strive peeps, and I feel good about it. It could be high risk. MSTR is high risk, though. They're all high risk, right? And are supposedly high risk. I don't really. I feel comfortable owning both. And I do feel like ASST has more upside when Bitcoin actually like finally moves its ass and decides to go to 100, maybe back to the high of 125 or whatever it was. I think ASST will be moving much, at a much higher rate than MSTR when that happens. All right. And then I covered what Zeta was, so I think we good on that, Sergio. All right, so let's keep going. We're going to scroll down. We got a lot of tabs to cover here, over here now. All right, treasury companies. So what we do here is we track the top 20 treasury companies to see, all right, did they add the Bitcoin? And guess what? We know Strategy did not add Bitcoin, so that's very upsetting. I know, I'm upset too. But hopefully this Monday we get the announcement that Strategy bought some. Mara, not cool. Mara had, 53,802 last week, 822. They sold 15,133. They now have 38,689. This was to cover debt or something that I read. And that knocked them down to number 3. So once you sell a chunk like that, they're probably not going to give a damn. They may sell more. Again, who the hell knows? But 21 Capital is now number 2. And even oddly enough, on my interview with Nithu, but I'm calling them Knights who say Ni, from last week, he did not have nice things to say about Mara, and he was right because they sold their Bitcoin. So the timing was, almost perfect on that. But yeah, whatever. Who else? Metaplanet, they didn't add any. They didn't sell any, at least. But we do have a buyer here, American Bitcoin Corp. They bought some. They bought 101 Bitcoin, puts them at 7,000 even. Nice, clean number. They must like clean numbers. Nakamoto Inc., I don't know what's up with them, but they sold about 340 Bitcoin. So, again, movement here and there, mostly in the wrong direction this week, unfortunately. But I'm also just pulling up the top 20. There's tons of other companies, but feel free to track them yourselves because I'm not doing it. I mean, you want me to do it? I don't know. You got to ask nicely. All right, so let's look at this stuff. We got top of the crop. But let me cover some comments, see what you guys are doing here. All right, so Sergio's good. See, I finally made him happy. All right, I hope so, since I still own 118 shares. ASST to write calls. Yeah, I'm not doing options on ASST. I'm just buying it daily, pretty much. Tell me I'm addicted to caffeine without saying I'm addicted to caffeine. Hey, it's although I probably could drink decaf and be fine. It's probably all in our head. We just need to have the taste of the coffee. I got the wrong size mug for my heater, so I got to drink it fast. All right, so high blood pressure, but need my Pepsi chaser with my decaf. Ew, Pepsi and coffee? Oh, I don't know about that, man. I don't drink soda though. Let's see. All right, Susie's in the house. What's up? Everyone say, "What's up, Susie?" Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? All right. Anyway, let's look at the Bitcoin movement of the top of the crop. So ETFs, they own most of the Bitcoin. All right, we know that. Yeah, they got involved, and here comes IBIT, here comes all these Bitcoin ones, the Fidelity one, what is it, FBTC or something. But regardless, they sold 6,257. But again, they're going to do what the demand requires. So if you own IBIT, you sell an IBIT, a portion of IBIT, they're going to sell the Bitcoin associated with it. They're going to buy the Bitcoin and sell the Bitcoin based on the supply and demand or the buy and sells, orders that they get. So obviously people sold their ETFs this week. Public companies, they sold about 13,000. I believe that was the net of the 15,000 plus or minus a few other things. And then, the Bitcoin mining companies, that's Mara basically. Countries, still no movement. So yeah, I don't even know why I'm tracking this, to be honest. Maybe it's just a waste of time. But I'm like waiting. I'm like, come on. All right, and then there's the actual breakdown of the ETFs. Again, BlackRock is IBIT. They're the big one, man. They're the one that matters, right? 3.73% of the total supply. You know, what does BlackRock own themselves? I don't know. That's a good question, actually. You know, maybe content for another video. Like, who the hell, who owns your Bitcoin? Who owns your Bitcoin? You know, we want to know. We want to know. All right, let me take a sip of coffee. All right, that's good. That's good. I don't feel like working today. Is that all right? All right. Fidelity actually went up. So more people bought some Fidelity. But yeah, it's plus or minus. It doesn't matter. All right. So this is, you know, these are the preferred stocks. These are the stocks that, these are mostly MSTR, obviously. These top four are MSTR. And then SATA is on Strive. But these are the preferreds. These are the ones that are paying, you know, some high yields. I don't even know why I have these other suckers here. I don't even know the point of this tab, to be honest. But it's probably just to update the yield. But the focus for me is buying STRC and SATA and continuing to buy that and eventually hold it forever, man. Hopefully they can always pay this dividend and the capital will stay flat. I mean, at some point, maybe in 2140, they can't pay the dividend, but who cares? I'll be gone. But yeah, man. All right, let's move on. Yield on cost. So here I wanted to make sure to mention yet again, SATA is at 97.98. Their yield is 12.75%, but that's based on the NAV par of $100. All right. So if you buy at 97.98 and you get the yield of 12.75% on the 100, your yield on cost is 13.01%. Oh yeah, and by the way, your future capital gain, if it goes back to 100, is 2.06%. So I mean, again, depending on your feel of this product, in my head, it's a no-brainer. All right. Although I should have bought it at 80 when it was in the 80s, but I didn't, like a fool. But I was just trying to build up my STRC. The main problem I have with SATA is it's 100% margin maintenance on Charles Schwab. It's not on Robinhood, but it is on Charles Schwab. I do own it on Robinhood currently. I do not own any on my Charles Schwab account. But I do own STRC. But again, they're 50% margin. I mean, it's the same freaking product. Why is this 100? But I think this will go down to 50 at some point. I don't know when, but I'm thinking it would. So again, yeah, maybe I'll add it today. I got to think about it. But ex-dividend date, as mentioned, was yesterday, April Fool's Day. Ha, 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 ha. Remember last year, or was it 2 years ago? I did an April Fool's video, said I'm done with YouTube. Does anyone remember that? That's old school. I don't know if you guys were around for that video, but that's OG talk right there. Let me see what else is going on in the chat. Working in the background, always working. Parabolic, always working. Goldman Sachs is starting to recommend crypto. Oh, yeah. I mean, see, things are changing, man. Things are changing. It's gonna be a matter of time. I mean, 1%, that's pretty low, but still, hey, better than nothing, right? No work? You off, LA? Sorry, LA. I've been missing your premieres. I haven't had a chance, but I plan on catching today's if possible. So, anyway, so Strategies road to 1 million. I'm talking about my road to 1 Bitcoin, and they're almost at 1 million. It's really crazy. Total Bitcoin, 52 is so, yeah, 52 is the new column. So yeah, all right. So Strategy owns, right, 762,099 Bitcoin, right? They need 237,901 to hit 1 million. Their weekly average lately is 6,892. And that's if they continue down this road, they will obtain 1 million Bitcoin in 35 weeks, which would be still this year, December 3rd of this year. All right. And if they do get 1 million Bitcoin, even when all the supply is done, that is almost 5% of the total supply. Again, I don't know how people feel about that. One company owning almost 5% of a supply, but as long as they're good, right? And they're true to the strategy, it should be okay, right? But all right, Double D, have a good day at work. Thanks for joining yesterday. That was a good old time. If you guys missed it, we had a commute home discussion talking about options, mainly options. Me, Double D, and a few others, but I did record it, or Ambassador recorded it for me, and that's posted on my YouTube. So go check it out if you're commuting to work, if you're driving, whatever. It's just good, it's good content. Good to listen to people talk randomly. I like it, at least, but not just because I'm in it, but I like to hear other people talk like that. All right, so I did change this tab up a little bit. I put all Bitcoin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to track all the Bitcoin that I'm holding and share these numbers with you. Again, I have 3 sources now: Robinhood, Coinbase, and now River. I'm liking River. I really am. A lot of people on X did mention it to me, and I researched it. It's pretty. The one thing that sold me is they only do Bitcoin, and I'm an only Bitcoin kind of guy on the crypto side. So to me, that is like perfect. So I didn't move all my crypto there, but will I? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I have to think about it. But as of right now, I set up daily buys on their app, because guess what? Daily buys are, if you do daily buys on their app, they are transaction free. There's no fee for that. So that's a beauty. Coinbase, if you do daily buys, I'm pretty sure they charge a fee unless you have Coinbase One. And Robinhood, I'm not sure. I don't think they charge, but but so Robinhood gets no issues with Robinhood. I know people have their opinion on it, but for now, I just have 3 sources. But regardless, all the Bitcoin combined, I'm almost at 0.2. I'm at 0.19, which holds a value about 13,000. MSTR got about 14.2, a little jump up from last week. Again, I got $10 daily buys, just FYI. Nothing really more. I'm not, I haven't really done any random additions outside of adding to Bitcoin. When it comes to just like getting any additional funding, I would just add to Bitcoin, and I'm not really adding to these others like that. I'm just letting the $10 buy kind of do its thing. I do have a leap, just one leap on ASST. It's doing well. Has a value of a 603. I should have done more, obviously. SATA, I got 11 shares. Misty, about 9 shares. But total value of my crypto portfolio, crypto related items, 19,000. Again, this does not include any STRC in the other account. All right, payouts. So we got so far for the month of April, STRC has paid out 2180, increase from last month, obviously, heading in the right direction. SATA, big increase from last month. We got 1248. Nothing from Misty yet. Actually, they should be paying. Yeah, today's ex-dividend day. I think they'll pay tomorrow. And but yeah, so far 34.28 for the month. And I always put what bill does this pay, and pretty much just about this would pay the internet bill that I pay for my parents, which is actually cheap because again, it's just an addition that I use for Verizon. But so hey, not bad, right? Get there, we're getting there. All right. So now the main event, the road to 1 Bitcoin. And will I ever get there? That's the question. Will I ever freaking get there? Let me see what you guys are yapping about. Treasury companies not mining. Excuse me, Sergio. Holding to buy. Word is the price will be good this summer. We'll listen while at the gym later. I did see. Oh, thank you, Wolf. I appreciate that. Love my job. Yes, no work would be interesting. I might have a massive garden, a couple doggos. Misty will pay Monday. Okay. Yeah, because Friday, the banks can't work Friday, right? The banks don't work. They're important banks. But things are changing with banks and all that jazz. So soon enough, right? Soon enough. All right. Anyway, give me some coffee. Hold on. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, I don't know why the Macho Man keeps coming out today. But so my current Bitcoin holdings, we just said 0.19. All right, my monthly buys, they average about 607. If I take 140, yeah, because I have $10 buys from two different platforms. So if I take all that and then 70 plus 70 times 52 divided by 12, that's about $607 in monthly buys. Here's the question though. What are we expecting the Bitcoin average annualized gain to be, right? I have 15%, but I think people are expecting more. So if I keep 15%, it still makes it really hard to get one Bitcoin based on my current buys. So, and I'll show you again, anyone in the chat, let me know from here on out what you think the average annual gain will be on Bitcoin year over year. All right. And I'm talking like this will be like at least over the next 5 years. On average, what do you think Bitcoin would go up per year? Or do you think it won't go up? or it'll go down? Let me know. All right. So base using 15%, again, adding 607, you can see how much it buys, right? But again, this is now, I'm calculating the 15% and I'm dividing it by 12. And obviously the gain is per month. So you can see, all right, per month, I could buy less and less Bitcoin per month with my 607. So it gets harder and harder to hit that one Bitcoin. You could see here in December of 28, I'll only be at 0.43, which is awful. I mean, it's still not even halfway through. All right, let's go through in like another year, December of 29, I'll be able to only buy less Bitcoin, but at least I'll be halfway through. But again, that half was hard enough. Imagine the second half when Bitcoin price, well, here's the price here, we're showing 114. And that's probably being generous. December of 2029, you think Bitcoin's going to be 114? I think it's going to be a hell of a lot more, to be honest. So, the moral of the story here is I got to move my ass. I got to put more money into Bitcoin if I want to hit that one Bitcoin goal. Because even with a 15% annualized gain year over year, I'm not going to hit it with my $10 buys in both accounts. It's just going to get harder and harder and harder. And if we go down and down, and what year do I go to? I go to 2046, and I go here because I'll be what 63, and at that point I'm done. Like I'm enjoying my damn money, right? So, and I still won't even be at one. I'll be at 0.89 Bitcoin. So it's like, bro, right? Bro. Seriously, bro. So, so that's one way to look at it, right? So even with a 15% gain year over year, I will not hit one Bitcoin with my current buying strategy. So what I have to do is I have to increase my buys, ad hoc, randomly when I get more money on the side. All right, so Wolf, would you say 30 to 35? All right, let's plug in 30. So things get interesting. Oh, by the way, let me go back to 15. Let me cover. So Bitcoin price in 20 years, I show based on the 50% annualized increase would be a 1.4 million. Okay, based on that. All right, does that make sense? So But I think, again, in 20 years, people are probably thinking it's going to be even more than that, right? So I will use the 30% number. It's going to get a little crazy, all right? So just be aware. Be aware. But do we really think from here on out we're going to get 30% annualized gains? I mean, that would be wonderful. But let's just use it. All right. So again, my starting point is still 0.19, and you can see like my buys are just right away. They're just going to get harder and harder to get that beta coin. And again, we'll go to December of 28 again. That was like the default. And we'll kind of just highlight that. It's like the shining area here. It'll be Bitcoin will be in 2 years 146,000, which, to be honest, that still seems low, right? In my eyes, you know, we're in April of 26. So December of 28, Bitcoin being at 146, I feel like we're going to be higher. So this 30%, I don't know, man. I don't know. But we're pretty damn low right now, right? We're in the 60s. So we go to December of 29, 196 will be the price. And look at my Bitcoin. I'm still not even at halfway. I don't even know if I'll hit halfway. We go to December of 2030. I'm still not even close to halfway. And let's just go all the way down. Let's just go 20 years later. 20 years later, when I'm an old fart, I will have 0.55 Bitcoin. Like, that sucks. So, but look at Bitcoin price, $31 million. $31 million. Wow. Wow. But again, I plan on using my Bitcoin, whether it's through selling it or whether it's through taking loans on it. I again, the time will tell, but I will be utilizing that to help me retire and live and do whatever the hell I want. Probably much sooner than 2046. But again, I have to map this out, because what is the point of buying Bitcoin if I can't even use it, right? All right, let's see. Oh, 50, what's going on? Welcome. You're late, but it's okay. I start at 5 a.m. Awesome shift. Off. Oh, wow. Off at 1. That's a beauty, man. That is a beauty. If you believe Bitcoin will 300K in 4 years, would be easier to get IBIT options contracts. What do you mean easier? I don't understand that. Comments. They're both pretty easy to freaking get. On River, yeah. You must be watching on delay. You gotta catch up with the live, right? Oof, didn't think of it this way. Which way? The way I'm doing it now? All right, so okay. All right, let me know what you guys think. Is 30% too much? Should we try one more number before we move on? Again, I did 15 and I did 30. I really don't know, to be honest. And since I'm adding monthly, right, I go over here, 30%. Where is it? It's actually 34 because I'm adding the annual. I'm making like a monthly gain month over month. And, you know, with the whatchamacallit, the compounding, it's actually 34% when from, you know, 12 months out, if that makes sense. All right, we got 102 of you live between YouTube and X. Again, between the two YouTube channels and X. Thank you for being here. Again, right now, we're sharing my road to the beta coin. So, you know, again, the gains could be even less. There could be 10% a year. And on that note, in 20 years, yes, I'll have my one. I'll have my one Bitcoin. In fact, I'll hit that one number. I'll hit it here. I'll hit it in 2039. Okay, so if I look at that, the December of 2039, there we go. So that's with a 10% increase year over year. All right. So, and you know, does that matter? Does it really matter if you have you can see, oh, I got 1 versus 0.8 or 0.7? Not really. I mean, it's just you know, it's nice to see, right? But again, it's going to get to a point where it's almost not attainable. Unless, of course, Bitcoin heads to zero, then yeah, we can all get one Bitcoin. But at that point, nobody's going to be bragging about owning Bitcoin. Dude, I don't know what's. I think Sergio's losing it over here. I don't even know what the heck he's talking about half the time. All right, health and wealth. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Health and wealth. He's out there. He's selling houses. He's hustling. He's about to retire before me. Must be nice. I'm like the only health and wealth. I think you and I are the only ones in the YouTube union still working. But I'll probably be the last one at this rate. All right. So again, yeah, no one else gave a number, so we'll leave it at that. But obviously, the moral of the story is the sooner I buy more Bitcoin, the more likely I am able to obtain one Bitcoin. Because, if all things stay equal, we get the gains, like we said, 1530, I'm not getting one. There's no way. There's no way. Unless I just start, of course, if they allow a chance to buy Bitcoin in the 401k, I saw something on that. Of course, I check what 401k. I don't believe. I'll believe it when I can actually see it in my 401k. And then, at that time, fine, sure, I could be able to buy enough to, at least in IBIT or whatever they're going to offer. I don't know, probably through an index. Maybe they'll offer an index fund, a crypto index fund. Hopefully it's a Bitcoin index fund, and then I could buy it that way. But look at you go, man. Huge hustle over here. 6 deals. Wow. Good for you, man. That's awesome. I'm jealous. I gotta find a new hustle. Not like I have the time, but I should probably maybe focus on the channel more too. But yeah, go check out Health and Wealth's channel, by the way. You haven't been posting a lot, have you? By the way, now that I think about it. But hey, neither have I, so I'm not one to talk. All right, let's keep this video going. We're about 42 minutes in. We're just yapping away. The only other tab I really have is about again, what is the point? We need to ask ourselves that. What is the point of buying Bitcoin? Making money, right? Okay. So how are you going to make money? That's the next question. How are you going to make money on Bitcoin? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to borrow on it? That's my question. So again, I think a lot of these platforms, they need to, and Robinhood's one of them, they need to offer a way to borrow money against Bitcoin. All right. Because people don't want to sell it. They want to buy it and they want to hold it. But again, that's a lot of capital to just freaking leave there, So Coinbase does, through this company, Morpho, I think it's called, they allow you to take loans against your Bitcoin. So for the example of Coinbase, I got about, say 4,400 in Bitcoin, right? They'll allow me to borrow 3,200, which is about 73%. All right, so that's fine, right? But right now Bitcoin's at what, 66? So if I borrowed the full amount, if Bitcoin went to 57, my loan would be called. They could sell some Bitcoin on me. But also the interest rate would be 4.36%. So why would I borrow, right? Well, I would borrow because I believe I can make more than 4% on the money through, of course, STRC. I'd buy STRC or I'd buy SATA. So I could double up kind of what I'm making. But of course, there is also a 1% Coinbase fee, which makes it now 5.36%. So it's a little harder to make money now. Again, on such a little amount. I'm showing my monthly profit. If I did borrow the full amount, would be about 568. So, is that worth it? No, not really. But again, I'm just trying to run the numbers, think about these things, and come up with a long-term strategy. Because again, I don't want to work till I'm old fart. But I still got young kids, so I got no freaking choice. YouTube's not going to pay the bills, Twitter's not going to pay the bills. Dividends pay the bills, but I don't have enough, of a nest egg to make the dividends pay the bills and then some, right? But that's why we're all here, right? All right, let me catch up on the comments. Only there you go. One video. Yeah, I did better than that at least. One video in March. Hey, but you're out actually making money elsewhere, which is good. The point of buying Bitcoin is the dream. The dream of what, Wolf? I want to know. I want to know. This is a serious question for all you suckers out there. Why are you buying Bitcoin? Answer that question. I've been focusing on my $100 every couple weeks into Bitcoin, waiting for a drop to 50. You know, these people and the drops. Didn't we drop enough? Didn't we drop enough? That's why I just buy daily. I'm not waiting for any drop. I'm just going to keep buying and buying and buying. There's Kieran. Wow, long time no see, buddy. I hope all is well. Yeah, I think we're all caught up. All right. Any other questions? Let's see what else I got in the tabs here. Yeah, so this is I have the Bitcoin treasuries list up. This is the top 100. Again, nothing new and exciting here. Yeah, I don't know. I did notice it's weird. Strive actually has a lot of funds. Did you guys know this? They got all these ETFs. Never heard of any of these. Bucks, STXT. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of funds. Strive 1000 dividend growth ETF. That's pretty cool. I mean, idea-wise, but I don't know. I guess I should know these things because I invest in Strive, but through ASST. All right, let's see. Back to work. Have a great day. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. All right, so I think that's a wrap, right? Is that a wrap? Let me pull up the Bitcoin price. Okay, we're still at 66. We're not moving. If we are moving, it seems to be not good. But as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video was for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, whatever. Come back next week, and we will talk cryptocurrency, or Bitcoin, Bitcoin. All right. So what do we want to pull up? Do we want to keep this up? I'm going to play the crypto song. All right. So if I click this or that here, we'll pull up my massive subscriber count again. This is on the new channel. If we can get this to move during the song, that'll be fantastic. So in order to get this to move, what you do is you go to the Retire on Crypto channel. You hit the like button on the video. That's number one. Number two, you type in a comment or a keyword. We'll get to the keyword. Or you share it. Even better, you share it with your friends. Tell your friends. We're going to grow this little channel into, nothing big. But again, it's just really for just random crypto content. Because I do notice if I don't stick to dividend content on the main channel, it kind of just messes things up. All right. Does that make sense? All right. We got an answer. I don't invest for myself. If it was just me, I could live off my money until I die and still have money left over. So you invested for your kids. Is that Bitcoin for your kids? Tonka, like the toys. Around 1750 IBIT shares are equal to 1 Bitcoin, and getting like IBIT covered, it will take less capital. You say cover call? You're talking about buying a leap? Are you saying it's just cheaper to buy a leap on IBIT? Is that what you're getting at? But I mean, that makes sense. I get it. But then the problem with doing options on the crypto is you need time to work in your favor, right? You're relying on time, whereas if you just buy it outright, then you just need at some point, right? Before you die, of course, you just hope at some point you are making money and you could utilize that money. No, thanks for being here. Oh, yes, you too, Bruce. Well, I'll be live tomorrow, Saturday, and probably Sunday. I might do a Sunday roundtable to talk about high yield dividends FYI, if anyone is interested, please tag me in Discord and say I'm interested on the Sunday roundtable, and then I'll add you to the group chat. And we'll do it Sundays, random Sundays, maybe every Sunday. I don't know. I just think it would be cool. But yeah, let me know if you guys are interested. You have to, don't just tell me here, just tell me on the Discord so I remember if you're in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I don't know. Tell me somewhere. Yes, wife and daughter. See, Wolf is a good man. This is why we like Wolf, right? 502. All right. All right. We like you too, 50. All right. I did not do it, right? Anyway, let's play some music and we'll think of a keyword. So don't go anywhere. We're gonna play the Retire on Crypto, or as the ambassador of Quan calls it, stacking sats. All right, and then we'll come back with a keyword.
This one's for the stackers, the believers, the ones who saw the future before the world did. They laughed when the white paper hit the net. Said it wouldn't last, yeah, I remember that bet. But the blocks kept rolling, tick-tock chain. Hard money rising while the printers go insane. 21 million, that's the final command. No central bank could change in this plan. Those around the world keep truth in the chain. Freedom money breaking every fiat domain. Cold storage like keys in my hand. Self-sovereign living, yeah, I understand. Volatility storms, but the mission stays true. Stack sats every day, that's what we do. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. R to the 2, the O to the 2, the C, that's the man. Daily stacking BTC is the plan. Hard money, future in our hands. TikTok, next block, hear the band. Bitcoin rising across the land. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. Building our future with the hardest money known to man. Fiat keeps falling while the debt grows tall. Trillions printed up just to cover the fall. But Bitcoin marches like digital gold. Every 4 years the same story told. Hash rate climbing like a rocket in flight. Miners worldwide keeping truth in the fight. Permissionless rails running night and day. A monetary system no king can sway. From Wall Street towers to a farmer's land. Bitcoin leveling the economic sand. Not your keys, not your coins, understand. This is the revolution already planned. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. R to the 2, the O to the 2, the C, that's the man. Daily stacking BTC is the plan. Hard money, future in our hands. TikTok, next block, hear the band. Bitcoin rising across the land. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. Building our future with the hardest money known to man. Now listen close, here comes the move. Corporate treasury with a Bitcoin groove. Company called Strategy changed the game. Michael Saylor stacking sats in his name. Balance sheet loaded, conviction strong. Playing the Bitcoin century long. And the CRC spelled out so clear. STRC the preferred right here. Preferred stock ride in the Bitcoin way. Yield and conviction for the bold and the brave. While the world still wonders what this will be. We're building the future on BTC. Stack the sats, hold the line. Tick-tock block every time. Freedom money can't be banned. Bitcoin rising across the land. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. R to the 2, the O to the 2, the C, that's the man. Daily stacking BTC is the plan. Hard money, future in our hands. 21 million written in sand. Bitcoin standards sweeping the land. Retired on crypto, taking a stand. Generational wealth built by BTC's plan. This is not financial advice. I hope you were entertained. If not, I'll do better next time. If you made it this far and you want to prove it to all the suckers out there, you gotta say the keyword. Be about stacking. Until next time, stay humble, no looking back. Be about stacking sats. Stay humble, no looking back. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for hanging on. Wolf says the keyword is, why do you invest in, well, I'll add Bitcoin. All right. So the keyword today is, you're going to write in the comments down below why you invest in Bitcoin. All right. So once this video is posted on YouTube, X, wherever, go in the comments and type in why you invest in Bitcoin. And that way we all know, me and all the other suckers out there, we know you made it to the end of the video. And it's not easy. 55 minutes. It's a long ass video. All right. So anyway, thank you all for watching and have a good day. All right. Oh yeah, stock market's closed tomorrow. Got to remember that. Stock market's closed tomorrow. All right. Later.